Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about EBS volumes. Here, we are going to learn what is EBS volumes and where we are going to use this EBS volumes. Everything we are going to discuss in detail in this session. First of all, we just need to understand what do you mean by EBS volumes. Here, EBS volume is nothing but it is a root volume in which the operating system will be run, and it is also called as boot volume. Just like our normal laptop, where we are going to deploy our OS in our laptop, obviously on hard disk. So EBS volume is also nothing but just like a hard disk. It is a block based storage. In the earlier session, we had discussed about the S3. S3 is a kind of object based storage where we can't be able to deploy the OS. But coming to EBS volumes, it is a block based storage. We can be able to run the OS on top of it. Okay, and first of all, we just need to discuss about the properties of the EBS volumes. Here, why we are going to use this EBS volume? Because of it is persistence. Persistence is nothing but the data is stored in a permanent manner. Means whenever, suppose if I attach any EBS volume to the EC2 instance, whenever I rebooted or stop the EC2 instances, it is not going to impact the data which is available in the EBS volume. The data is safe even though the EC2 instance is rebooted or start or stop. It is not going to lose the data. So that's why it will be called as a persistence of data. And performance. Coming to performance, it is going to offer high performance for our applications. How? So based on the EBS volumes which I am going to select, it is offering that much performance. And snapshots, as you know, if you have data in your laptop, if you want to change your laptop, you are going to take the backup of your data. In the similar way, if I want to take the backup of the EBS volume with the help of the snapshot, I can be able to take the backup of EBS volume at that point of time. Generally in organization, they are going to take the backups for the EBS volume on regular basis, because of whenever there is any issue happens, without losing the data, with the help of the snapshot, they can be able to retrieve the data. Okay, generally we have the life cycle for 7 days or 2 weeks. They are going to maintain the snapshots for the EC2 servers. Okay, let us understand in deeply what are the different types of EBS volumes are available in the in AWS. In order to show it to you, I'm just showing out to you. We have generally two types of volumes are there. One is SSD and HDD. As you know, if you went to any laptop shop in order to procure any kind of laptop or that may be desktop, you are looking for which hard disk it has. Either it is SSD or either it is a HDD. HDD is little bit less cost and SSD is a little bit costly. Why? The HDD is the data is stored in the rotational format and it is using some magnetic tapes, because of, and there is a little bit latency while we are retrieving the data from the HDD drives. So that's why it is a little bit less cost. As coming to SSD, it is semiconductor device where we can be able to retrieve and write the data very fast. Because of the reason, the SSD volumes are little bit costlier when compared to HDD volumes. For suppose, if you want to adapt for SSD volume, in SSD we have 4 types of volumes are available in AWS EBS service. What are the different types of volume types? That are GP3, GP2. I'm going to highlight to you GP3, GP2, IO2, Block Express 3 and IO1. These are the different volume types are available in the SSD EBS volume types. And coming to the durability, the GP2 and GP3 is offered 99.8% to 99.9% durability with 0.1% to 0.2% annual failure rate. But as compared with IOPS, as it is going to offer 99.999% durability. there is very little bit chance of, that is 0.001% of chance there is a annual fail rate, as compared to IO1 99.8 to 99.9. It is also similar to GB2 and GB3. And what are the use cases? Generally the GB2 and GB3 are the used for transactional workloads, and it is used for the virtual desktops. Suppose if you have organization, your team members want to do their works on the virtual desktops. So for the virtual desktops, generally we are connecting the GP2 and GP3 volume types, because of it is little bit cheaper when compared with IOPS, and it is used for medium-sized single instance databases, and there is low latency interactive appliances, and it will be used as a boot volumes, and generally it is used for the development and test environments where high latency is not required. When coming to the IOPS, so where it is used whenever I need sub-millisecond latency, means if I am deploying my application, it requires very less latency. The users are not supposed to experience any kind of latency, and it is providing such high performance. Then I am going to select IO2 block express 3, and the workloads, if my workload that requires sustained IOPS, IOPS stands for input output per second. Okay, if it is required more than 16,000 IOPS, I am going to use the IO1. If my performance is required peaks level, then I am going to select IO2. And the volume size, so if I suppose I want to create some EBS volumes, there is a different limit is there, the minimum GB and maximum GB. Coming to GB2 and GB3, the minimum GB I can be able to create is 1 GB and the maximum is 16 TB. But coming to IO1, it is 4 GB minimum and 16 TB is maximum. So for all of these are both are same except GB2 and GB3. In GB2, GB3 even we can create 1 GB of GB2 volume. Okay, the max IOPS speed is, you can observe 16,000 GB3 and 16,000 for GB2. Here the rate of transfer is 16 KB for GB2 and 64 kilobytes for GB3. In the similar way, you can observe for 64,000 16 kilobytes per input output per IO1, and here if you observe now for IO2, it is more than, it's a peaks level, and you can check max throughput. And here the one more interesting matter, Amazon EBS multi-attach. Generally, as you know, one EBS volume can be attached to one EC2 server. One EC2 server have multiple EBS volumes, but one EBS volume will be attached to the single EC2 server. But if I want to attach one EBS volume to multiple EC2 servers, is that possible? Generally for GB2, GB3 and is not possible. But coming to IOPS, yes, it's possible. Multi-attach EBS is possible for IOPS SSD volumes like IO1 and IO2. Here, and boot volume, is it support for boot volume? Yes, obviously it is support for boot volume. There we can be able to run the OS. Boot volume is nothing but there I can be able to run the OS. And just have a look on this HDD volumes. Here the volume type is throughput optimized HDD volume, and the second is cold HDD volume. The throughput optimized HDD volume will be called as ST1, storage 1, and cold is called as SSE1. And durability is, here also there is very little bit chance, that is 0.1% to 0.2% annual fail rate. And use cases where I am going to use this, the throughput optimized HDD volume is used for the big data and database and log processing, where I have the means it is clearly indicates whenever I have such kind of large data, I am used for data analysis, I am used for the log processing, I am going to use ST1. And where I am going to use the SC1, it is throughput oriented storage for data that is infrequently accessed. I just want to make the data, I just want to make to store my data which is infrequently accessed, but I just want to make an EBS volumes. There I am going to use SC1 as an option. Scenarios is where the lowest cost storage is important. Means I want to store the data on EBS volume but with low cost. Then the best option is SC1. The volume size is here for cold SC1 it is 125 for both. 120 minimum is 125 GB and maximum is 16 TB. Fine. This is the max IOPS per volume. For ST1 it is 500 and for SC1 it is 250. And Amazon EBS multi attach, as I told to you earlier, it is only supported for IOPS EBS volumes only. It is not more supported by the either GP2 or GP3 and ST1 or SCN, and it is not supported for the boot volume. If I want to make it as a boot volume, definitely I need to select either GP2 or GP3 or IOPS IO1 or IO2. Okay, this is all about different types of volumes. EBS volumes are available in the AWS service. Okay, so for the better understanding, I am going to conduct some lab activity. So right now quickly jump into the AWS console page. Just click on AWS. In order, it will be redirected towards the console home page. There you can select the EC2 service. Yeah, here I am going to select the EC2 service. Right now, is there any running EC2 instances are there? Just check. Right now there are no EC2 instances which are running in my account. I am going to create one EC2 server. Server is server 1, and as usual I am going to select. Yeah, it is going to take some time, so because of some internet issues, just wait a moment. In the similar way, I am going to select the T2 micro as instance type, and because of it is feature eligible, as usual I am going to select the. So what happened? So here I am going to select the. So no. Right now I am in the okay. So I am going to the Northern Virginia region. Right now I am the mobile region. So I just made it to the Northern Virginia region. So server 1, and here. So there is little bit internet speed is low. So just a moment. Maybe there is sometimes there will be a portal issue as well. So we just need to wait until it has been done. So in the meanwhile, just please have a look on it. And just make sure, maybe due to some portal issue it is slow down. So just refresh the same. It will be load sooner. So what happened? So okay, no worries. So we can discuss about this EBS volume in the practical session in the upcoming session. Hope you guys understood about the theoretical session about the EBS volumes. Then in the coming session, we will jump into the practical session. There you will have the better understanding. You will get the clear picture about the EBS volume. Okay. Thank you guys for joining into my session. We will meet up in the next session with a new topic. Thank you. Bye bye.